Hi, we are the group from Project Management. We did a brochure for Community Service Inc. and I'm going to introduce our group right now. My name is Erica Riles.
I'm Brett Henry.
I'm Justin Brown.
Chris Smith.
And we are going to go through. Chris is going to do our dashboard. Then we have Brett who's going to do our lessons learned. And then we have Justin who's going to also do a lesson learned, and I'll end up wrapping it up. So let's get started. All right, guys. This is just our community service. That's who we decided to do our campaign on. It was... we linked up with our sponsor, Jamie Higgins. He was needing someone to create some deliverables for his company. And we are going to go through and kind of give you all a background of how we did it and how far our project has went and the steps that we've had to overcome and the lessons that we've learned. So Chris is going to get started and show you guys what we've done.
Okay, this is our dashboard. As Erica stated before, we did this project for CSI. We decided to create a brochure and a flyer as well. As you can see, our project is 100% complete. Within our scope, we have our success criteria. It says right here, the documents will not contain any misspelled words or false information, only facts and appropriate statistics related to CSI Inc. If the sponsor initiates both the brochure and flyers in digital form as print ready, and all the above has been accomplished, the project will then be considered a success. So the success criteria for our deliverables are established. As you can see, everything has been completed on time within our dashboard, and right here we have a list of some recent tasks that were completed. We use, as far as technology, we use Google Drive and Google Hangouts. Google Drive for our documentation. There's easy access for all of us, especially remotely, to access all the documents that we have. Google Hangouts, since we're all remote, basically, we're all able to talk to each other and communicate, share documents as well through Google Hangouts. At first, we used MS Office, using Word and Excel at first for the WBS and the timeline. And after that, we moved on to MS Project, using MS Project to create the WS, the timeline, and the Gantt chart, which helps us keep focus on our timelines, to let us know when we're falling behind or when we were doing good. So the Gantt chart also shows us, as we filled it out, the WBS, we were able to see our critical path, we were able to see our milestones, and see the dates which we needed. And at the very end, we were able to use Microsoft Publisher to create the brochure and the flyer and print them out and present them to our sponsor. And now we will introduce Brett, and he will talk about what our lessons learned.
So we learned a few good lessons over the course of the project. Three main successes we had included communication, group cohesiveness, and data organization. Communication we usually excelled in because we had multiple channels to work with. We used Google Hangouts, we used text messaging, we used emails. Anything that the rest of the team had, we put to good use. And so that it was that flexibility in communication that allowed us to stay on track and sort of keep everybody in the loop, which is fantastic for keeping efficiency. So, you know, sort of to moving forward, we would want to keep that sort of flexibility kind of in play with communication sort of in the future, just to keep that efficiency up. Group cohesiveness, we meshed our personality types together particularly well. We managed to function as a unit rather than just separate people doing their own things. We got together and we did what was required of us. We did all the documentation. We got together and we just, it all came together. And taking into account the personality types that were in play here was paramount to ensuring success in that field. And so, again, moving forward, you would want to, and the rest of us would want to, definitely take personality into consideration. And finally, we have data organization. This we did particularly well in because we used cloud services like Google Docs, Google Drive, that kept everything centralized where everyone could access it. And in Google Drive, we kept things neatly organized. We kept our files categorized into what it's for, and how we're going to use it. And so in that way, we were able to easily access anything that we needed to access at any given time by any given member, which makes things very efficient, very effective. And so going forward, we were also very proactive in keeping, not only just starting with things being organized, but keeping them organized as we went on. And so moving forward, there's definitely a habit that everyone would want to keep up, keeping everything organized properly and centralized properly and making it easy to access. Of course, not every lesson is learned from success. Some are learned from mistakes, and some of the lessons learned from that will be explained to you by Justin Brown.
All right. Our biggest negative lessons learned stem from issues with communication, technology, and resources, as well as the scope measurement. My first one being communication. We had a lot of miscommunication towards the end of our project and attempting to send our deliverables to our sponsor. The issue was that the file sizes were too big for Google's capacity. Ultimately, we ended up having to send each file individually, and that pretty much fixed that. As far as technology and resources go, initially we had a hard time communicating with one another, which caused a couple of us to miss the first meeting. The fix for that was pretty much just everybody kind of upgrading their technology, whether it be smartphone, laptop, and as well as our software, Google Hangouts, and just email communication. As far as the scope measurement is concerned, initially we had issues trying to measure things such as acceptable, and we found that the best way to measure that was based on specifications provided by our sponsor, and you can find that in our success criteria. Next, we'll have Erica wrapping things up.
All right, guys, so we're gonna finish out by showing y'all what we have created and our final deliverables to our sponsor, Jamie Higgins. See if I can get out of the way. We got our flyer here is what we created actually after we had created our brochure. And this is the front of our brochure that we ended up creating. We had to use a certain font size and certain font for the company. We had to use a certain color scheme for CSI because they all are aligned with the organization. And so we had to make sure that that was part of what they had asked for what they were needing to give to the different communities. And we wanted it to be versatile so that all they have to do is change the day, change this one. Actually, I don't know if you can see it well, but it says Conway, Arkansas. We were going to make sure that it is going to be different and easy for them to be able to change that in case they want to use it for their Morrilton location or any of the other locations that they have throughout the state of Arkansas. Once we created this brochure, we were then able to create the flyer, which you can see here that they're going to be able to distribute to the different schools and everything, to be able for the principals and everybody to notice their program that they have, that they offer for the children and the students there at the different schools. And this was pretty much just focused, like I said, on in Faulkner County. So then I want to go ahead, and it's a project is not, our success was based upon our customer acceptance, and you can see that we did have a customer acceptance form. He just basically stated the fact that it was a versatile form that they were able to utilize within the Faulkner County schools, and that'll be located in the bottom of our discussion, so you can access that there. But anyways, if y'all have any questions, please don't be afraid to ask them. We will try to get those answered as quickly as possible. And we've had a really good year, so I appreciate all my group members, and thank you guys. It's been a good semester.